Watergate scandal continues to grip the nation as the infamous 18.5-minute gap in the Nixon tape.
There was a tape.
Yeah, this tape was never subpoenaed. Why?
Nobody knows it exists.
I think the best course of action is that I take the tape.
I give you this tape, you splash it all over the cover of the Times, it gets traced back to me in a heartbeat. You win the Pulitzer and I get indicted. No.
I think there's a motel nearby, the Silver Sands. We go there, we listen to it, we leave.
Off season. Anything is possible, young lady.
I don't know how, but they know we're here.
Hey, who is they?
Could be anyone. Could be the FBI, the CIA, KGB. Could be a Post reporter for all I know. We need to listen to the tape.
2 buttons, right?
What is that the news? Are you listening to Nixon?
Soak it up. It'll soon be over.
Well, that's no good, Al.
Good morning.
Hi, Willa. Jeff in Las Vegas. Good to see you again.
How's it going?
It's going great. Thanks for joining me to talk about 8.5. Man, loved it. You know, I was
Good.
7, 8 years old when all this went down. So I was a little boy when it happened, but it just brought back a flood of memories from my childhood to see the costumes and the dialogue and that early 70s kind of vibe to it. So it really feels like it was in that time.
Oh, good. That's amazing.
Your character, you know, she transcribed the most famous recording in American politics. She's a whistleblower, a GS2. I love how she's a fast talker, you know, and she flips the bird to her boss once a day for 3 years. That really sets up the kind of character she is, the kind of woman she is.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, she's really an independent woman, but she's dedicated to her work, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, the kind of inherent dynamic of her professional life is, you know, I think she's a very driven character, and I think that she's butting up against the, you know, confinements of her being a woman in the 1970s and kind of not being able to shatter the glass ceiling, not being able to become more than kind of the level she's at as a transcriber, and the kind of, you know, disillusionment that happens after that and after her discovery.
And she meets a journalist, Paul Merrill, to play the tape, the famous Nixon tapes, 8.5 minutes, but at the Silver Sands Motel of all places, where Richard Kind is an eye patch wearing manager. I mean, he has a small part in this movie, but boy, does he make a presence. Was that eye patch his idea? Because he was just outrageous.
He's great. I don't know if the eye patch was his idea. I can't remember. I mean, he definitely, you know, he's a wild one. He was very fun to work with.
And I love that, you know, in the terms of the politics at the time, the paranoia that was going on, because your characters think that they go to this motel, there's bugs in the bathroom, or that, you know, the manager of the hotel is a spy. I mean, it's just like everywhere they looked, there was a paranoia. And that was the sense of the times too, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
And then by accident, they get to know each other. I mean, it's almost kind of this weird kind of love story, because you find these two lonely people who are dedicated to their work, and all of a sudden this quick romance happens between these two strangers.
Yeah.
So how strange was that, you know, for you to play those characters where, you know, they needed each other so badly, and it kind of like their mission was in the background?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know if I would agree that the mission was in the background. I feel like the kind of the overriding objective of actually figuring out who the other person is and whether they're trustworthy and whether they are on the same team. I think the byproduct of kind of all of that searching is then that sort of like eventual coming together. But I think it really is, you know, they both go there with a seemingly shared objective of finding out this very big break of information. And then I think are kind of thrown together because they have to navigate this dangerous situation. It's hard to talk about this movie. There's so much stuff that I don't want to just spoil.
Oh, absolutely. There's so many twists in this movie, but I love the line where she says, look, you'll get a Pulitzer and I'll get indicted, you know, so she's very well aware of what she's doing. I think that I loved about this is that the costumes really set the mood for this, you know, 1973. Was it weird being in the same clothes the whole shoot?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of nice. You don't ever have to worry about what you're wearing. You already know. No, I mean, luckily they washed them with some frequency. So we didn't have to wear unwashed clothes every day.
I just noticed the ties, and I think I still have some from when I was a little kid, those 70s ties.
Yeah.
Can never throw them away. They're clip-ons, but I love them.
I know.
And tell me about working with the director, because he uses sometimes some single long shots, especially the scene behind me, the opening and the closing scenes where you're in the car. I mean, he's got a great style to his work.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think there definitely were a lot of long takes. There were a couple of scenes, if I'm remembering correctly, that are basically oneers. And I think that this movie could be a play in a different version of itself. It's a very kind of self-contained piece, and most actors who I know love that. I love that. It's and also like working with John, he's a fantastic actor, and it's always really fun to just kind of get to do what we do as actors and kind of have that be what then the product is. And that's kind of what you're given when you have these long, single takes, essentially, where it is, it's not a product of editing, it's just a product of the shot setup and then what unfolds between the characters.
Well, it's a great blend of drama, comedy, and suspense. It has it all, and also historical reference. I think it's brilliant. So congratulations. And remember, Willa, that Wonder Bread is tyranny.
Exactly.